Greetings, Elderly Vegan here, and welcome to episode 6 regarding the 12 hallmarks of aging and how to live a longer, healthier life by slowing down these classic hallmarks with a whole food, plant-based diet, along with positive lifestyle modifications. The technical term for this hallmark is referred to as deregulated nutrient sensing, which simply means there are 4 basic sensing mechanisms for our nutritional levels which go haywire as we age. One mechanism involves the need to properly evaluate circulating glucose levels. Another involves the need to evaluate the building blocks of new growth. And a third mechanism is the need to evaluate low levels of our primary source of energy, referred to as ATP. And the fourth involves the need to evaluate the amount of what is referred to as NAD+. And I will have more to say on NAD later in this video. But for now, suffice it to say that NAD+ supplementation is definitely a hot topic when it comes to current research on human longevity. But before we go down that rabbit hole, I need to tell you about what happens to these sensing mechanisms as we grow older. Basically, they're all capable of turning out bogus information as we age. These sensor mechanisms get confused, and the end result is all too often where cells think they are starving when they're actually not, or they fail to switch into repair and recycle mode like they are supposed to when food is scarce. In essence, due to the gradual breakdown of these sensing mechanisms, the result is all too often a situation where our body gets stuck in a pro-growth mode where repair and recycling mode of autophagy fails to happen. As you may suspect, this sets the stage for deadly chronic diseases. So in an effort to give our sensing mechanisms a helping hand, it really is beneficial to include foods and beverages rich in antioxidants and polyphenols, foods with a low glycemic impact, foods with a high dietary fiber, and a moderate amount of quality protein as found in several plant-based sources. Actually, what I've just mentioned sounds like spot-on advice for overall health in general, above and beyond how they help our nutrient sensing mechanisms from going haywire. And the following are examples of foods which meet these qualifications. For polyphenols, red grapes and berries are good choices, and so too sulforaphane, found in cruciferous veggies like broccoli, cabbage, and kale. Quercetin, found in apples and onions. Fisetin, found in strawberries. And the polyphenols found in cacao powder. And of course, my favorite polyphenol, abbreviated as EGCG, found in green tea. And so too for legumes, lentils, chickpeas, and black beans provide great blood sugar control, and this too is important, while including walnuts, almonds, and fermented soy products like tempeh and natto are great additions. And don't forget spices like turmeric, which is an all-around health-promoting superstar for multiple reasons. I should also mention both the long-chain and short-chain forms of the omega-3 fatty acids are beneficial. The short-chain forms are primarily found in flaxseed, chia seed, hemp seed, and walnuts, whereas the long-chain forms are most commonly associated with cold-water fish, but a great vegan source of the long-chain forms is obtainable in supplement form from marine algae. And as for lifestyle modifications, intermittent fasting and intense aerobic exercise address deregulated nutrient sensing. And so too does quality sleep, as well as both heat and cold therapy. Again, what I've just mentioned sounds like a good way to proceed for optimal health in general. But as I mentioned near the beginning of this video, I do have more to say with regard to NAD+, and the reason for this is that the elderly vegan has indeed taken NAD supplements for about 5 years. So from a personal standpoint, I'm in a position to weigh in on this topic. Anyway, with regard to being able to appreciate the significance of this compound, you first need to know what it does. NAD plays a crucial role with regard to the proper function of 7 different proteins, collectively referred to as sirtuins. And sirtuins is a good word to remember because you will encounter it time and time again in your journey into health and longevity. At any rate, these sirtuins are widely regarded as the guardians of the genome. And when they operate correctly, this is what you get: proper gene expression, DNA repair, inflammation control, managing cellular stress, and helping to keep our energy factories, called mitochondria, operating efficiently. And if you're able to keep all 7 of these sirtuins purring like kittens as you grow older, who knows what the result will be? And why do I say this? Because it sounds as though we may be entering new territory with regard to human longevity because of all the current research in this area and because the availability of the most potent precursors for increasing blood levels of NAD+ have only been available to the public for about the last 15 years or so. I should probably mention that there are other methods for raising NAD blood levels, but they apparently cannot compare with what would be expected from the 2 most potent precursors, which were the ones that became available relatively recently. These precursors are referred to as NMN and NR. So here's the situation. When we are young, we make NAD in spades, and our blood levels of this compound peak in our mid-20s. But by the time we reach 30, it's all downhill from there, as the production of this compound begins its long, slow, inevitable decline. But current research in this area is progressing at a rapid rate. And in the last few years, it's been theorized that older adults just might benefit from NAD+ supplementation with the intent that it will keep our 7 sirtuins hitting on all cylinders as we grow older. That said, and although all mammals share these same sirtuins, the research has primarily been conducted on mice. Nor has this concept stood the test of time. Be that as it may, NAD+ supplements work wonders on mice, enabling them to live to the equivalent of 130 human years. But will humans respond in a similar fashion? It's just too soon to know. And given the elderly vegan has taken this supplement for the last 5 years, my blood levels of this compound should be comparable with that of a 20-year-old. So what is my report? Well, at age 76, and from what I'm experiencing, my level of energy is fantastic. My labs are stellar, and I have the lean body mass and apparently the NAD blood levels worthy of a fit 20-year-old. So, here are the 2 opposing viewpoints on NAD supplementation. One viewpoint says, raising blood levels of NAD will not increase human lifespan, but it may result in adding years to your health span, which basically means you enjoy extra years of health and vitality but at some point you fall apart and die at what would be considered a normal age. The opposing viewpoint sees the potential for a different outcome, and one which not only increases health span, but also lifespan. And this is based on supplementation enabling mice to live to the equivalent of 130 human years. And don't forget, we do indeed share those same sirtuins with mice. So in theory, it should work for humans. So, given I plan on taking NAD from here on out, if I live to the year 2065, I think we will know the answer to the NAD debate. I might also mention that my next episode in this series on the 12 hallmarks of aging also talk about NAD supplementation, but in this context, it specifically refers to the energy production in mitochondria. So if you liked what I had to say about my experience with supplementation in this video, I think you will also appreciate this next episode equally well. At any rate, I hope you found some worthwhile information in this video. To your good health, the elderly vegan.